Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Dear students, in this video, I intend to introduce books of classical mechanics which have been saved in my computer. Okay. Dear students, actually, number of these books is relatively large. So I may introduce some books in one video and remaining books in other video. Okay. Now I open. Actually, these books have been saved in two folders due to large number. Okay. First I open first folder. Okay. Dear students, first I open the book by Douglas Gregory. Okay. Dear students, this is our first book of classical mechanics. Okay. Classical mechanics, R. Douglas Gregory. Classical mechanics, R. Douglas Gregory. Classical mechanics, an undergraduate text, R. Douglas Gregory. Cambridge University Press. Cambridge University Press 2006. It means it was published in the year 2006. Now I come towards its contents. Its first chapter is the algebra and calculus of vectors. Its chapter number 2, second chapter is velocity, acceleration and scalar angular velocity. Its third chapter is Newton's laws of motion and the law of gravitation. Its fourth chapter is problems in particle dynamics. Its fifth chapter is linear oscillations. Its sixth chapter is energy conservation. Its seventh chapter is orbits in a central field. Its eighth chapter is non-linear oscillations and phase space. Now its second part begins multi-particle systems. Okay, in which first of all is chapter number 9 under title the energy principle. Okay, chapter number 9 the energy principle. Chapter number 10 the linear momentum principle. Chapter number 11 the angular momentum principle. Chapter number now part 3 begins with first of all chapter number 12. Chapter number 12 under title Lagrange's equations and conservation principle. Okay. Then chapter number 13, the calculus of variations and Hamilton's principle. Chapter number 14, Hamilton's equations and phase space. Then fourth part begins with first chapter as chapter number 15 under title The General Theory of Small Oscillations. Then chapter number 16 under title Vector Angular Velocity and Rigid Body Kinematics. Then chapter number 17 Rotating Reference Frames. Then chapter number 18 Tensor Algebra and the Inertia Tensor. Then chapter number 19 Problems in Rigid Body Dynamics. Then this is the last chapter. Okay, it means this book contains 19 chapter, and then appendix begins from page number 564. Okay, and answers to problems are given at page 576 and index is given at page 591. Okay, now we move to next book. Okay. Now next book is Herbert Goldstein. Okay, very famous book, taught all over the world. It may be treated as a Bible of classical mechanics. Okay. Okay, dear students, this is the title page. Classical Mechanics, 3rd edition. Goldstein, Poole and Sefco. Okay, Classical Mechanics, 3rd edition. Herbert Goldstein, Charles Poole and John Sefco. Edison Wesley is its publisher. Now we come towards its contents. Okay, chapter number 1 Survey of the Elementary Principles. Chapter number 2 Variational Principles and Lagrange's Equations. Chapter number 3 The Central Force Problem. Chapter number 4 The Kinematics of Rigid Body Motion. Chapter number 5 The Rigid Body Equations of Motion. Chapter number 6 Oscillations. Chapter number 7 The Classical Mechanics of the Special Theory of Relativity. Chapter number 8 The Hamilton Equations of Motion. Chapter number 9 Canonical Transformations. Chapter number 10 Hamilton Jacobi Theory and Action Angle Variables. Okay, then chapter number 11 Classical Chaos. Then chapter number 12 Canonical Perturbation Theory. Okay, then chapter number 13 Introduction to the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian formulations for continuous systems and fields. And this is the last chapter, that is, this book contains 13 chapter, and then appendix begins from page number 601 and index is given at page number 625. Okay, now we move to next book. Okay, now we move to next book. Gold, after Goldstein, now we are moving book by J.B. Marion. Okay. Okay, dear students. Thornton Marion. Okay. Stephen T. Thornton. This is the full name, and this writer has written many books like Modern Physics, Physics for Scientists and Engineers, and also other books. Okay. Classical Dynamics, Classical Dynamics of Particles and Systems, 5th edition. Okay. Now we move to its contents. Its first chapter is under title Matrices, Vectors and Vector Calculus. Chapter number 2 is under title Newtonian Mechanics, Single Particle. Okay, dear students, we will visiting contents of this book. Okay. First chapter Matrices, Vectors and Vector Calculus. Okay. Second chapter Newtonian Mechanics, Single Particle. Dear students, here is some mistake. After chapter 2, chapter 7 is appearing, then 8, 9. It means it consists of two. One page is not being shown properly. Yes, yes. Problem has been found. I do not know what has happened. Okay, we have seen chapter number 2 Newtonian Mechanics, Single Particle. Then we come towards chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 is this Chapter number 3, oscillations, at page number 99. Then chapter number 4, non-linear oscillations and chaos, at page number 144. Then chapter number 5, gravitation, at page number 182. Then some methods in the calculus of variation, at page number 207. Then chapter number 7. Chapter number 7, here is chapter number 7. Okay, chapter number 7, Hamilton's principle, Lagrangian and Hamiltonian dynamics. Okay, then chapter number 8, central force motion, at page number 287. Then chapter number 9, under title dynamics of a system of particles, at page number 328. Now we come towards chapter number 10. Chapter number 10, this is chapter number 10, motion in a non-inertial reference frame, at page number 387. Then chapter number 11, dynamics of rigid bodies, at page number 411. Then chapter number 12, under title coupled oscillations, at page number 468. Now we come towards chapter number 13. Okay, so here is chapter number 13, continuous systems waves, at page number 512. Then last chapter, that is chapter number 14, under title special theory of relativity, at page number 546. And then appendix begins from page number 589. Okay, and this is the last chapter, chapter number 14. Okay, I think it is enough. Now we move to next book. Okay, yes, dear students, this is the next book, An Introduction to Mechanics. There are two authors of this book, Daniel Kleppner and Robert Kolinko. Okay, this is a slightly difficult name, Kolinko. Okay, An Introduction to Mechanics. Authors are Daniel Kleppner and second author is Robert Kolinko. Okay, this is second edition of this book. Okay, we enlarge this page up to 100 size. Okay, Daniel Kleppner, Robert Kolinko, An Introduction to Mechanics, second edition, Cambridge University Press. This book was published in the year 2014. Okay, first published by Cambridge University Press 2010, reprinted 2012, second edition published by Cambridge University Press in 2014. Okay, now we come towards contents. Its first chapter is under title Vectors and Kinematics. Its second chapter is under title Newton's Laws. Its third chapter is under title Forces and Equations of Motion. Its fourth chapter is under title Momentum. Its fifth chapter is under title Energy. Its sixth chapter is under title Topics in Dynamics. Its seventh chapter is under title Angular Momentum and Fixed Axis Rotation. Its chapter number 8 is under title Rigid Body Motion. Its chapter number 9 is under title Non-Inertial Systems and Fictitious Forces. Its chapter number 10 is under title Central Force Motion. Its chapter number 11 is under title The Harmonic Oscillator. Its chapter number 12 is under title The Special Theory of Relativity. Its chapter number 13 is under title Relativistic Dynamics. And its last chapter, that is chapter number 14, is under title Space-Time Physics. Okay. And index is given at page number 533. I think it is enough. Now we move to next book. Okay. Next book is by David Morian. Okay, students, this is our next book. Introduction to Classical Mechanics with Problems and Solutions, David Morin. Okay. Introduction to Classical Mechanics with Problems and Solutions by David Morin, Harvard University. Okay. Cambridge University Press. Cambridge University Press is the author of this book. Okay. Sorry. Not author, publisher. David Morin, 2007. It means this book was published in the year 2007. Now we come towards its contents. Dear students, its first page is under title Strategies for Solving Problems. Its second chapter is under title Statics. Okay, Statics, chapter number 2, second chapter. Chapter number 3 is using F equal to MA. Chapter number 4 is oscillations at page number 101. Chapter number 5 is conservation of energy and momentum. Chapter number 6 is the Lagrangian method. Chapter number 7 is central forces. Chapter number 8 is angular momentum part 1. Chapter number 9 is angular momentum part 2. Chapter number 10 is accelerating frames of reference. Chapter number 11 is relativity kinematics. Chapter number 12 is relativity dynamics. Chapter number 13 is 4 vectors. Chapter number 14 is general relativity. And this is the last chapter, that is total 14 chapters. Then appendix begins, and appendix F is given at page number 698 and index is given at page 716. Okay, dear students, still a large number of books on classical mechanics are remaining. And in our next video we will introduce remaining books. Okay, till then, Allah Hafiz.